All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a couple of real people out there, just like you and just like me. All right, before we get going on this video, this is an album I promoted a couple of months ago. Deborah Bonham, who is the younger sister of the late John Bonham, right? And this music is all traditional blues. It's done in a way I think that you'll really enjoy. Again, the music very clean and clear on this particular collection of songs. Just a classic blues rock sound to it. It's Deborah Bonham and Peter Bullock. Imagine you could have these guys opening up for Led Zeppelin, right? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? But Robert Plant says, yeah, it's not going to happen. He's, look, he's doing the thing with Alison Krauss. He's been doing that for a while. It says here in this article, despite promoter-led attempts to get Led Zeppelin to reform for a series of concerts, Robert Plant has remained committed to his new musical direction in the roots and blues-based Americana field. Of course, Led Zeppelin did reunite back in 2007. One of the funniest quotes from this article is what John Paul Jones says. When asked why it took 5 years for the 2007 reunion concert to see the light of day, Jones joked, 5 years is like 5 minutes in Led Zeppelin time. Ain't that the truth? Every time you see Jimmy Page, he looks like he's bummed out, like, hey, I could be out there playing and performing Led Zeppelin stuff, but Plant did a new interview with the LA Times. He said that I know that full open-throated falsetto that I was able to concoct in 1968 carried me through until I was tired of it. That was a pretty long time, 1968 to say 1993, I think. 93. He was still putting out really good material. I could do a whole video, and I probably already have, on the fact that all of the Robert Plant music that was recorded from his first solo album up until about 93, Fate of Nations, I think, was the last one that was making kind of a sort of an impact at rock stations and had some really great stuff on there. All of that music is gone. Nobody plays it. Tall Cool One, maybe, but really there's so much music in there that used to be part of the classic rock radio lexicon that has disappeared. Anyway, Plant said, hey, I got really tired of that amazing falsetto that I had. That sort of exaggerated personality of vocal performance morphed and went somewhere else. But he says he was playing in Iceland about 3 years ago, just before the thing-demic hit. He said it was midsummer night and there was a festival, and I got my band and I said, okay, let's do Immigrant song. They'd never done it before, of course. He says, we just hit it and bang, there it was. I thought, oh, I didn't think I could still do that. So 3 years ago, Robert Plant says he could still belt out Immigrant song in that useless falsetto that he used to have. Man, that useless or exaggerated falsetto, that it just inspired countless vocalists who came after, even entire bands like Kingdom Come, for instance. Their whole career based on that vocal style of Robert Plant. Anyway, when the Times writer Michael Wood asked Robert Plant basically that, hey, a lot of people would love to hear Led Zeppelin again, going back to the font to get some kind of massive applause, it doesn't really satisfy my need to be stimulated. You know what? I like Robert Plant. I do. I really do. But he seems a little on the pompous side, right? All of these fans would love to see a reunion, and they would still love to see a reunion. I mean, we're talking Led Zeppelin. First guy signing up would be Jason Bonham, right? Like in '07. Plant admits, by the way, in '07 that Jason Bonham was the driving force in the band. Like everybody else was kind of like, yeah, we're Led Zeppelin, we're back. But Jason Bonham, who's wanted this gig his entire life and thought, hey, my dad's not here. It would be cool if I could be that person. And it seemed like it could work, right? But, only one time, right? I don't know. Have they ever reunited prior to that? I remember the '07 thing. That was a really big deal. And it was kind of surprising. It was kind of shocking. It was like when Pink Floyd got together a couple of years, I think, prior to that, which was even stranger to have Roger Waters and David Gilmour together again. But in any event, it just seems like this is never going to happen. It just won't ever happen. And the more they interview Robert Plant, and kudos to the guy doing the interview, right? Because it's easy to say, man, that album you have out with Alison Krauss, let's just talk about that, right? And keep it safe, and then, move on to safe topics from there. But, to ask Plant, about Led Zeppelin, say, hey, there are a lot of fans that would probably want to go see you guys. And I think it might be one of the higher grossing tours, of all time. You got the stadium tour. And I think going to see Led Zeppelin, maybe with, imagine with Deborah Bonham opening up. I think that would be so cool. People would be in a safe environment, probably. Nobody would be falling from any upper decks. The women wouldn't be asked to reveal certain body parts. I mean, I'm thinking they would class it up a little bit, right? Wouldn't be quite as sort of banal as the whole Motley Crue experience is. And the only reason I say that is because I'm sure, you could fill up pretty large arenas. I would probably keep it to mid-size places, so it's a little bit more intimate. If Plant doesn't want to resurrect the tenor, then he could sing in any voice he wants to. They can tune stuff down. They can unplug the guitars a little bit. There's so many things they could do. I mean, Zeppelin had all of this great acoustic music. They could do a whole concert's worth of acoustic Led Zeppelin music, and people would just lap it up. And I would be there, or I'd try to get tickets anyway. I'm probably priced out of it, but in any event. Again, one more time, some pretty decent packaging on this album. Again, it's Bonham, Bullock. They even have a cool logo. See that? Yeah, that's good. It's good stuff. The rock media, other than a couple of articles on this, they kind of ignored it. It is traditional blues, right? This isn't like they're trying to reinvent anything. But Deborah Bonham, if you haven't heard her sing, she's really good. So I'm sure she's not embarrassed of her tenor, right? I don't know. It's not tenor. I'm still cracking up. Robert Plant, that crazy voice I used to have that got me through and made me millions of dollars. Look, I guess on the other end of the spectrum, him not wanting to make money, or him not wanting to be commercial, or to give the fans what they want, I guess that is a little countercultural these days, because you've got people going out of their way with 1 or 0 original members. You'd have 3. You'd have 3 in Led Zeppelin, and you'd have the late drummer's kid. So I think it would work, right? In any event, that's my video, folks. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications for new videos. Patreon for $1 a month. I could use a few patrons. It's been a little slow. I understand it's a little rough out there, but $1 a month, that's all I'm asking. Gas went down like 30, 40 cents a gallon where I live. So yeah, I mean, that's at least what, $5, $6 in a tank. That will save you, maybe more, depending on how big your gas tank is. So think about it. Should I give this guy $1 a month? Maybe not. maybe not. Understood. In any event, that's the plug, and I appreciate you watching the videos. And yes, I'll see you soon.